Hey,
Hello,
Conrad.
Claudia. Here we are. Let's
Here
do
we
it again.
are, Monday. It's Monday, the day before Election Day.
Oh, my head is about to burst, I think.
But look at you, you're in a beautiful spot. What could be a better way to spend these next couple days, huh?
Most definitely. Let me tell you what we did. So we're up here in Big Bear for several days. Very fortunate to be here. My mom and dad, my parents own have a timeshare up here, and we're here to enjoy some of that. But what we did is we brought our champagne up for tomorrow night.
Okay.
If all things go well. So
good
we're
idea.
set. We're ready.
Yeah,
we're ready to
I
go.
mean, just to calm myself down today, I did a nice deep breathing yoga session, and I think make sure that you're keeping your head on straight and keeping yourself centered and be in the great outdoors, right?
Exactly.
It's a
And you know what?
perfect time.
Regardless of what happens tomorrow, and I know which direction I want it to go, but regardless, I'll be glad when it's over. I'm tired of the commercials. I'm tired of people saying things that aren't right or aren't wrong, and let's just move on.
Yeah, a crazy election during a pandemic. Well, I'm also celebrating Pride today in Palm Springs.
That's right.
So, of course, there's no parade, there's no big parties, but from November 4th through the 7th, Trio is doing these Pride party packs. So you can order your pack and you'll have a little bit of a party swag and some mixers to make drinks. And, who won't need to do this over the next couple days, right? Just
exactly.
have your own little private party. So
exactly. If you could order that now, so tomorrow when everything goes right, your party pack is ready to go.
It's ready to go.
So Claudia, since I'm here in Big Bear, let me show our viewers just kind of how beautiful it is here today, so that Big Bear is not that far from Palm Springs. Let's just take a look at this space, and I'll kind of do a little quick little narrative.
Right? Delightfully chilly?
Delightfully chilly, exactly.
Oh, nice.
So here we are. I'm staying at Lagunitas Lodge, and we're right here on the lake. And you can see they usually have the pontoon boats out, but of course it's a little bit too cold right now. But look how beautiful the lake is here, and the sky is just gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
You can see you can have your boats there. People were fishing out there earlier today, and there are some more folks here along this side of the walk.
Talking about the great outdoors, Palm Springs now has what will soon be, I want to say a nature conservancy, but this is a project that an amazing woman named Jane Garrison spearheaded and made happen to buy back a huge piece, 114 acres of beautiful property that was going to be developed in South Palm Canyon near the Lickin' Trail. And it is
that property is beautiful.
Oh my gosh, right. Oswit Canyon, and it's a beautiful alluvial fan. So they are closing right now as we speak, and we'll have an interview with Jane right here on the show. So we're Claudia, very excited.
And Claudia, let's, just in case our viewers didn't see this one that we did before, let's take a look at a video that you and Al did about a year ago that will bring people kind of up to date on what the story is, all right?
And she was in the final rounds of fundraising, so it was very, very tense. But yeah, let's have a look at that one, and then we'll skip forward to the current.
Sounds good.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jane Garrison, and we are in beautiful, sunny Palm Springs. And I'm sitting on the Lickin' Trail, which overlooks the incredible Oswit Canyon. So almost 4 years ago, I was hiking up this trail, and a woman informed me of this disastrous plan to completely develop this canyon. The developer's plan includes 260 houses and a flood diversion system across this mountain that would be as long as the Empire State Building is tall. We cannot let that happen. This is the last unprotected, undeveloped alluvial fan in Palm Springs, home to the endangered bighorn sheep and coyotes, fox, migratory birds, and developing this would completely eliminate their habitat. They would be gone. There's only 80 bighorn sheep in these mountains, and developing this would include explosives for up to 10 years. It would include the elimination of dark skies, the quiet that we appreciate out here. It would all be gone. We are 3 weeks away from the deadline, so we need your help now. Please, I'm begging you to go to saveoswitcanyon.org and donate today so we can save this majestic canyon.
So it's interesting. That video was really the last, I think you just mentioned it a little prior, was the last push to try to say, come on, people, get together. We need to try to save this.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, because she did all this through house parties. It was me and them and these neighbors and people on the other side of town and gatherings and pledging. And so, there was one final push, and, after 5 years of just fighting to make this happen, she did it, they did it. Oswit Canyon is saved, and we will have, if you've been on the hiking trail, have you been?
No, I haven't. I've seen it. I've never been there.
It's beautiful. It doesn't look like it's that hard, but it's a slow up. And then if you get to the end and climb over a bunch of rocks, during certain times of year, there's pools and a waterfall. And so we have a lot to look forward to this winter.
And it's pretty safe to say that Jane was a great spokesperson for this drive.
She's a natural, and she had never done anything like this before.
Right.
And she was tireless. Her efforts were tireless. So let's have a look at what we're talking about now that this has already happened.
Sure. And just in case this is going to be our last video, I want to show you that I am in Big Bear. We got some pine cones here.
Oh, pine cones.
We are here. Okay, let's go and take a look at the video.
Okay. Well, great news for Palm Springs today. And I would like to add that it's the calm before the storm, but on our part, we are happier than anything for what this one woman here did with our community to save a total 114 acres of pristine wilderness that is Oswit Canyon. I welcome Jane Garrison. Hey,
hello.
Jane.
Hi there.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe 5 years of your tireless effort and focusing on making this canyon to be for us and not a developer's dream. How did you do it?
Oh, it's so funny because I know, I'm so excited. I am on such a high today.
Oh, I can imagine.
And it's funny, I was talking to my husband earlier and I said, 5 years ago when I started this, if somebody would have said to me, well, you'll be able to save the canyon, but it will take you 5 years, I would have said, oh, it's not going to take me 5 years. I'm going to save this canyon. But it truly will be 5 years in February. And it was such a task. This was the biggest volunteer job I've ever volunteered for.
Like, have you ever saved a canyon before?
No, I've never saved a canyon. I don't, know too many people that's what they do. But basically what happened is I went for a hike one day and I was admiring the beauty of this incredible canyon that is home to, the endangered bighorn sheep and all these animals. And when I learned about its destruction, I just knew I couldn't let that happen. And over the last 5 years, I will tell you, Claudia, there were so many ups and downs. I would feel like we would take 2 steps forward only to get pushed 3 steps back. And so many tears and so many, we had rallies and we collected signatures for an initiative and meetings. We did so many things. I brought the community together and we created.
You were so creative in your process of how you made this happen. The small home parties, like everything, right?
Yeah, there were so many aspects of it, but the biggest thing was that I never took my eye off the goal. And the goal was that I was never going to let that canyon be destroyed by 260 houses and this massive flood control they wanted to put in there, the size of the Empire State Building lying against the canyon. And, it's funny because people say, how did you do it? And the answer is I never gave up.
Right.
I mean, that is truly it. And when we had something that blocked our way, I figured it out at that point. Like, all right, how do we get around this obstacle? And I didn't set out and say, all right, these are all the obstacles we're going to face. I just figured out how to get over them when they came. And
you got the city, you got the city on board, you got the Wildlife Conservancy, the Nature Conservancy.
I got the Coachella Valley Mountain Conservancy, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the California Fish and Wildlife, the Conservation Board, the city. Remember, Claudia, almost 5 years ago when I heard about the destruction of this canyon, the land was not for sale. So it wasn't like we stumbled on land that was for sale. they were moving forward with a plan to develop this canyon, but we had a different plan. There was
You had to go, Jane, and address the developers and the investors and all.
Yes.
Apparently they were all over the world too.
Oh, and let me tell you something. You asked me if I ever did anything like this. All right, not only did we take on a developer, we took on, this is a $1 billion developer. They have oil money. They are from India. It's a $1 billion Indian company.
Yes.
And when I realized, I was like, okay, I didn't start out small with this one. This is not just some small developer.
It's not saving our golf course, right?
So I had to, figure out a way. And I will tell you, even up to a couple months ago, they did not stop. They wanted to compromise. They said, how about we do 75 houses in the canyon?
What?
Yes.
Oh, Jane. Oh,
said,
amazing.
no, I'm not compromising. Not one house, not one shovel in that canyon.
No.
And said it from the beginning. So we closed. So it was, we had to raise, this was over a $7 million deal. This was a huge, huge task, and put together all the funding from all the grant money, and the city contributed, and we had to raise $1 million and put all that together. And we closed escrow on Friday. And today it was recorded with the county that the new owners of Oswit Canyon are not the developers, but it is our nonprofit, which is Save Oswit Canyon, Inc. And we are now the owners of the canyon.
So great. It's so great. And we all feel, as members of our community, we cared so much. I know we were involved in, the home parties and contributing in all of this.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it's just like this is the last alluvial fan, this beautiful, pristine wilderness that comes down from San Jacinto Mountains. It's just, it's so special.
It was so worth fighting for. When you look today, and I was out there for the press conference, and I got there before the media arrived, and I was sitting in my car, and I looked up at it, and I just thought, again, the same feeling. How could we ever allow that to be destroyed? And we have to fight for these special places. We have to fight for the open space, because when it's gone, it's gone. And Claudia, the other thing that this canyon has done, it has inspired me. I am going to keep going. I am now addicted.
So Jane, what are the plans now with the canyon? It's a nonprofit. Will it be turned into anything for us to, I know we can now go out, the signs are down, like private property
signs are down. And I will tell you that is now owned by Save Oswit Canyon.
Right.
But you know what? Save Oswit Canyon. Yes, we did. We saved Oswit Canyon. So now we're going to go on to saving more special places. We are going to become Oswit Land Trust. I have 3 projects that we are already working on behind the scenes. One of them we've already announced. We're going to take these old golf courses that are not being used, and we're going to restore them back to beautiful, pristine desert landscape. And a couple other places that are in very threatened with development, that if you hear and when you see, you'll be like, oh no, we cannot do that. And I've been working on that as well. And so we're going to save other places. And I am inspired and dedicated to be a full-time volunteer and to do this, because it's so important. It's so important to save these places for us, for future generations, for the wildlife that call these places
Exactly.
home. And especially now we're in this pandemic, and we need to be able to get outside. We need to be able to go into nature.
And we're in this pandemic, yet everyone from the inner cities like LA, San Francisco, wherever they all seem to be wanting to move here. So we have to be very, very careful that we still maintain what is beautiful about this area, why we enjoy living here, right?
Exactly. I have to say something also. I can't let this go, that I am so happy to volunteer my time and to do this for Oswit Canyon and to move on and do other great places. But it is a community effort.
Yes.
And I can't thank everyone enough. There were so many people who donated, who came to rallies, who wrote letters, whatever your part was. This canyon is yours and you're part of it. And for people watching, if you haven't become part of it yet, please become a monthly supporter. And it's funny, as you know, Claudia, the only time I ever ask people for donations is when we had that goal that we needed to raise $1 million to close the gap. But I will tell you that we came up short. One of our grants came in lower than expected with the federal government. And you know what? I took a leap of faith. I used the money that we had set aside to pay for our taxes. Remember, we still have to pay for taxes, taxes and insurance and maintenance and our legal bills. I took a leap of faith and I said, you know what? We're going to still do it. We're going to close. I'm going to tap into the money we put aside because I know the community will continue to help.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
Ask people, go to saveoswitcanyon.org, donate, become a monthly friend of Oswit Canyon.
Hey.
Maybe you used to spend $500 a month going out to dinner. I mean, let's look at it, or maybe you used to spend $100 a month going to the local coffee shop every morning. Well, if you could become a supporter of Oswit Canyon, a friend of Oswit Canyon, it would be so greatly appreciated. I want to concentrate on the next pieces of land to save and not concentrate on how are we going to pay for the taxes and the maintenance and everything. It would just be a huge sense of relief to know that is all taken care of.
Well, we're there with you, and we are going to continue to follow all of your efforts, all of our efforts as we save more of our community, our beautiful community. Thank you, Jane, so much.
Thank you. We're going to do great job. Woo! And you see my shirt. More sheep.
Oh, more sheep, less sprawl. Yes.
That's what the world needs. Exactly. We can never have too many sheep now, can we?
No, not at all. And they're endangered. So we want more little babies, right?
Exactly. There's only 75 sheep in those mountains. So this was a really important piece of land to save.
Thank you so much, Jane.
My pleasure.
Peace.
All right. Thank you.
There. Okay.
Virtual hug. Bye.
Well, it was great to have Jane on, and such a fantastic thing that she's done for our community. So we're all celebrating here. You're celebrating up there, and the election's tomorrow, and let's just all be together on this, right?
And you know what, Claudia? This really goes out to maybe not our Palm Springs viewers, but just we have viewers from all over the world, right?
Right.
Everybody, regardless of what happens, just be calm afterwards.
Right.
There's no reason to cause ruckus and to get out of control. It's going to be, we've been through worse. Whatever it is, we'll get through this. Whatever it is, and we'll be through it together.
And let's everyone know that Palm Springs Point of View is there for you.
That's right. All right, everybody.
Okay,
all right, Claudia, see you later.
Conrad, enjoy. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.